Hey, if you're like me, the past 5 months of your life have been kind of a roller coaster. It was COVID-19. It was a worldwide shortage of toilet paper. Are the kids gonna go back to school? Will it be digital? Will it be in person? And in the midst of that, our tendency is to focus more and more on our own problems, our own needs, our own issues. I get it, it's very human. And then along comes somebody like me and says, hey, ultimately the best way to make your life better isn't what you think. It's to stop working so hard on making your life better and work to make someone else's life better. In Luke chapter 3 in the New Testament, we're introduced to a guy named John the Baptist. Now here's what you need to know about John. If he were alive today, he would be sporting a leather jacket riding a Harley. He's a man's man. I mean, the guy, he's just a stud. And he's out in the desert, out in the wilderness, telling people Jesus is coming. He's setting the stage. The kingdom is coming. And the crowds around him ask John, like they're fired up. They say, if the kingdom is coming, what do we do about it? And John says something very simple, but very challenging. He says, all right, you want to know what to do to be a part of the kingdom? Here's what you do. If you have 2 shirts, give one of them to someone who's poor. And if you have extra food, feed someone who's hungry. In other words, ultimately the best way to make your life better is to focus on making someone else's life better. Jesus, when he shows up on the scene, takes it even a step further. He says, hey, when you see somebody who's hungry, you're seeing me, and whatever you do to serve that person who's hungry, you're doing to serve me. Same if they're thirsty, or if they're sick, or if they're a stranger, or if they're in prison. He took the needs of people who were hurting so personally that he said, whatever you do for them, you're doing for me, and whatever you refuse to do for them, you're refusing to do for me. What does that mean? It means that all of us are called as followers of Jesus to do something with our lives that makes someone else's life better, even when our lives feel disrupted and uncertain and incomplete. I'm challenging you during Love Month to do what John said, to do what Jesus said, to serve the least of these, because in doing so, you're serving Jesus, and your life will get better when you make someone else's life better. So I want to take a moment today and pray over you, that God would give you the courage to follow His instructions and to experience everything that He has for you in this area. Father, I look into the camera right now and lift up to you everybody who's watching this. First of all, together we acknowledge that sometimes we get caught up in our own problems and we forget about the needs of the world around us. We don't want to live like that. And I'm asking you, God, to help us, help me, help everyone watching this right now to have the courage to do what you said, to give our lives away for somebody in need. And as we serve those who are hurting, I pray that you will provide everything that we feel like we're lacking.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Thought in 3. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything happening at The Journey.